Primus, Primus, Primus. More Primus review. On to 1998's Rhinoplasty. It didn't take Les Claypool long to jump on the bandwagon of recording cover albums. In 1998, he and his band, Primus, decided to do one. It's not really an album per se, it is a EP, but let's see how it holds up as a Primus release. So, a little bit of background, it is recorded not at Rancho Relaxo. What? It's recorded at Prairie Sun Recording Studio in Cotati, California. Basically, the background was that Les Claypool wanted to record something to harken back to his roots as a high schooler listening to this kind of music. It's very good of, representing the entire Primus taste, all the factors that make up a Primus album. It is 7 songs long, so not really terribly long. In fact, I think it's only, how long in length? It is 33 minutes in length, so not very long at all. Starts off with The Scissor Man, which is a cover of a XTC song. XTC was a 80s new wave group. I do really like the original. This version is good. It's actually really catchy, and the song itself is very catchy. And it's a good song. And it's a treasure, I guess, is how to describe this kind of song. It's not incredible, but it's good, and it's something to return to. The bass line on here is frenetic and amazing as usual. Excuse me. Family in the Fishing Net is the next song on the album, a cover of a Peter Gabriel song. Oh man, I've got some burping issues today. Sorry. But this song was originally by Peter Gabriel. It's a very interesting take on this song. It still has its mysterious undertones from the original, but still changes up enough to make it a Primus original. You got stuff like, bass solos and all that kind of stuff. So, interesting to say the least. So, definitely like this song. But we go on to the next song on the album, which is Silly Putty, which is like the only great song on the album. Now, it's great, but it does have a little bit of a flaw. Silly Putty is a jazz jam, I should say, and Les Claypool basically takes it and puts it into his own type of method, basically, and it's an interesting way to cover the song, but it's nothing incredible, honestly, until we get to his bass solo. That's really what takes the song to the next level, and it's really worth the listen. It really makes me happy every time I listen to it. But immediately I am remembering why I don't really enjoy the song as much because of a scratch solo. Now, I do really like the song. In fact, I've gotten over this part. It is a scratch solo. Now, if you don't know what a scratch solo is, a lot of people know what it is, just don't know what it's called. It's when you scratch the tape, or scratch the vinyl record and do that waka-chicka waka-chicka thing. So they decided to incorporate some hip-hop elements into their sound, which would transverse into the next offering. But this part of the song is actually kind of good. It's not terrible to me anymore. It used to be, unlistenable, in fact, for me. But I actually kind of like this part now, and but the bass solo just rules. It's the best part of the song. So, overall, a great song. I really like it, and they do bring this out in concert every once in a while, which is also very cool. Next up on the album is a cover of a country song, Silly Putty. Whoa, we just did that. Sorry. Amos Moses. I read that wrong. Very good song as well. We have a song that kind of harkens back to Tales from the Punch Bowl, with Winona's BBB. Now, this song is very catchy. It's a cover of a Jerry Reed country classic, and it's good. I like it, and it's cool. I mean, honestly, it's not really incredibly memorable, but it was good. Then we go into Behind My Camel, which is the only song I actually really knew, really knew when I first listened to this album back in 2014. It's a cover of a Police song, and the Police original is more reggae inspired. This one does have the reggae elements to it, but it sounds more progified. It's basically just kind of. I'll talk about it later on when I do Police, sometime in the future. But talking about it now, it does have the still has this Middle Eastern elements of the original, which is what really distinguishes it. So, other than that, their cover is not much beyond the original, so I'm not going to say too much about it besides that. The Thing That Should Not Be is the next song on the album. It's a cover of a Metallica classic. And because I listened to the Metallica classic so much, I've decided that this cover is the worst on the album. It's kind of annoying, but at the same time, it does treat the original with respect. It does have its own elements, so I do give it credit for that. But it's nothing incredible. Kind of boring, in fact, compared to Metallica's version. And that is Rhinoplasty. So you can tell it's experimental. It is not trying to be its own album. You can tell that they weren't putting as much effort into this as they were their actual albums. You can tell it's an EP. Now, as an EP, though, it does hold up for its own. Amos Moses, Silly Putty, Scissor Man, Family and the Fishing Net are all good songs. But, it is actually very enjoyable. So I would recommend this, actually, to people. So, there we go. Rhinoplasty by Primus gets a 3.5 out of 5. It, just because of its EP nature and how it's not really amazing and trying to be great, that's why it gets its rating. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.